So I used to tell people your passion cannot make you broke. So when you're passionate about the gifting you have, or a dream or a vision, and you're consistent with it, and you're not looking at the short-term benefits. Even if Matulito said something, he said, if a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep that street so that the hosts of heaven and earth will know there was a sweeper. So whatever your calling is, whatever you're called to do, excellence should be your contribution to whatever affair in life. So when you infuse excellence with consistency and passion, everything will fall in place.
Born and raised in the motherland, chasing a better life. Story of an immigrant.
Concrete pastures.
Concrete pastures.
Concrete pastures.
Hello, family. You are listening to Concrete Pastures podcast. I am Nancy Mlemwa-Sisi. Being an immigrant has been one of the most challenging and extraordinary experiences of my life. It inspired me to create a space that allows for myself and others to share our stories as we deconstruct the world's view of immigrant status. We unlock the joys, the laughs, and the bravery that being a dreamer brings. So subscribe and stay a while as we dive into today's episode. I am super excited. It's my birthday, first of all. And I'm excited that I'm joined by an amazing guest. He is part of the FRSA, Fellow of the Royal Society of Arts. He's the founder of the African Achievers Awards. Let's meet our guest. His name is Dr. Tonye Rex Idaminabo. He is the young leader, lawyer, and serial entrepreneur recognized by Forbes and Avance Media. Dr. Idaminabo is the chief executive of Reputation Pool International and developmental branding and business innovation agency, who has made indelible marks in creating a new image for Africa through a success stories of the African Achievers Awards annual event. They are on their 13th year. Welcome, Tonye. How are you?
Thank you, Nancy. I'm doing very well. Good to see you again.
Oh, thank you. You are joining me on my birthday. I decided to celebrate myself with others.
And happy birthday song for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much.
Best wishes, yeah.
I appreciate it. You're joining us from London, right?
Yes, please.
Oh my God, we're 5 hours apart. I woke up super early for this. For starters, I'm sure our listeners, our viewers would love to know who Dr. is. Could you please just share with us a little bit about yourself before we get into what you do?
Yeah, I just describe myself as a passionate Pan-Africanist who is interested in the success story and profiling Africa's reputation back on the global stage. So yeah.
Nice. You were born in Nigeria.
Yeah, I was born in Nigeria.
How was it growing up in Nigeria? Just share a little bit for some people, who've never been to Nigeria. How was that for you?
Yeah, for me it was good, and it was fun coming and living, where you get to visit friends, your neighbors are your friends, you get to share values together, you get to share even food together, so it was fun growing up in Nigeria.
Nice. What got you leaving Nigeria?
Pardon?
What got you to live in Nigeria? Because if you were having such a good time,
again, coming to the UK, afterwards did the masters, and I just felt we need to tell, give the positive narrative about Africa and Africans who have achieved, at the point I went back to Nigeria, came back again, I said, okay, we have notable Africans across the world, notable Africans in the diaspora, just like yourself as well. So how do we profile them? How do we get even people, policymakers, non-Africans to actually see these people? So you need to be in that space, so it's easy for you to network with the new social capital, and promote the Africans and the achievers who are actually building their communities and making lots of Africans across the world are doing well. Like the Bank of England, the CFO, she's from Ghana, a lot of them. So we need to promote them, So I regard myself as a global citizen. So it's not just about being so myopic and staying in one point because I'm Nigerian.
Yeah. I know it's definitely a great cause. When I found out about it, I'm like, no, he has to come in and really explain to us how someone can qualify. I mean, you're on your 13th year, you guys celebrating African Achievers, which is phenomenal. How did it come about, for starters?
Yeah, so the award was birthed while I was doing my master's back in Glasgow, Scotland, here in the United Kingdom. I felt Africans were not properly celebrated globally. So when God gave me the vision, I got inspired, and I always said it. I always talk about my spirituality. I'm always shy.
I'm very spiritual. I'm very spiritual, so don't worry.
So the Holy Spirit gave me a deep insight on what to do. So we had the first edition, which King's College London 2010 hosted it. And guess what? The first recipient was Archbishop Desmond Tutu.
Oh, wow.
A very celebrated man. So that also gave room for every other person to see that if Archbishop Desmond Tutu can receive the awards. So we started scouting for Africans who are building their communities. So at the categories, we're looking at people of integrity, people of excellence, and people of impact. So the awards moved from King's College London 2010, 2011. King's College London also hosted it. It's one of the iconic and visible universities with King's College is among the top universities in the UK, and even in the world. So afterwards, we moved it back to Africa, Nairobi. From Nairobi, we moved it to Ghana. 2014, where the president of Ghana graciously allowed us to host the event at the banquet hall in Ghana. From there, we moved to South Africa. From South Africa, at the Something Convention Center, we moved down to Nigeria at the International Conference Center, where we had over 800 to 900 guests, a little bit below 900 guests. So afterwards, we're back in the UK, and we've been graciously hosting it at the Parliament.
Wow.
This year we had it at the House of Lords, and we have been hosted by Lord Simon Woolley, who is also the founder of Operation Black Votes.
Nice.
And also a strong community builder, a strong voice in the community here in the UK, and also the first Black principal of Hamilton College, Cambridge. So we had Africans from all corners of the world coming to that room to celebrate Africans.
Nice.
Being an immigrant can be hard. Having been away from my home country for over 20 years has allowed me to experience these hardships firsthand. Throughout my journey, I've had a lot of challenges that were hard to bear. Juggling adjustment to a new country, obtaining my immigration papers, getting married, having children, establishing my career, and finding time for myself. Even though I've always had faith, I also relied on therapy, which gave me the tools to cope with the issues life brought me. My fellow dreamers, let's remove the stigma around therapy and normalize seeking help with today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp offers licensed therapists who are trained to listen and help you. Go to betterhelp.com/concretepastures for 10% off your first month of therapy with BetterHelp and get matched with a therapist who will listen and help in as little as 48 hours.
How does the selections go? Because there's so many people that are doing amazing things, like you said already. How do you guys, how many people get nominated? And how do you tune it down to the ones that actually receive awards?
Yeah, so we have a screening board. We have a nomination team as well.
Okay.
So when the nomination team gets the names, we now screen the names. The board screens the names and check people who have actually. We don't just celebrate names. We also celebrate unsung heroes as well. So I remember in 2011 we had this young tennis player who was 11 or so, thereabout. We celebrate people that are also making the change where they find, wherever environment they find themselves. So these are the kind of people we also celebrate. So we scrutinize them and we now invite them for the awards. And before the awards, we have a lecture section, the summit we call the African Achievers Lectures, where we talk about fundamental issues in Africa and how we provide solutions to these fundamental issues. Preceding the award, yes.
Got it. Oh, so this is not people going and submitting themselves and stuff like that, because most of the awards people, have to submit themselves and pray that they get picked.
So it's open. Like I said, we also celebrate unsung heroes.
Got it. So is the community made out of all Africans around the world, or is it just your team that just select?
Yeah, it's open. It's open for people to nominate people. In as much as we'll have a nomination committee. So when we get the pool of nominations, they screen out, before it's sent to the screening committee and the board for confirmation.
Got it. Wow. You are actually in Forbes, the most promising young entrepreneur in 2015 and 2016 for the 100 most influential African. How did you become so big at a young age?
Yeah, so I used to tell people your passion cannot make you broke. So when you're passionate and about the gifting you have, or a dream or a vision, and you're consistent with it, and you're not looking at the short-term benefits. Even if Martin said something, he said, if a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep that street so that the hosts of heaven and earth will know there was a sweeper. So whatever your calling is, whatever you're called to do, you must excellence should be your contribution to whatever affair in life. So when you infuse excellence with consistency and passion, I bet you leave the rest, everything will fall in place.
Some people have like mentors, they have someone they are watching. Like for me, I have like so many people that I watch from behind. They are my mentors in my head. Who were your mentors that helped you get to where you are?
Yeah, so God helped me to get to where I am. But I have a few mentors. Dr. Paul Nature is my mentor as well. So, and I have other people who inspire me. Dr. Susan Fajana, the former mayor of Hackney in London, who was also a cabinet member. So I also draw inspiration from people like Dr. Yvonne Thompson, Patricia Lamore. I have people like that who I also draw inspiration from and get guidance from. Yeah.
What would you say is the future of the African Achievers and you just as an entrepreneur as well?
Yes, so the future of the African Achievers lies in God's hands. So we move towards how He directs us to move, But I believe when the future is in His hands, it means it's going to be announced across the world, and we've built a reputation that people admire. That's why we had lots of people in this award from the top global companies, the vice president of KPMG, we had the Bank of England people, we had Lord Mayors in the house. We had captains of industries, ministers, and we don't make noise about their words, but we have those people coming in. In fact, somebody described it as a Nobel Peace Prize for Africa. I remember Dr. Matufosa, who used to be the ANC Secretary General. So I see African Achievers Awards getting to a point where it's going to be a household name across the ends of the world by the grace of God. Yeah.
Oh, I foresee that as well. With the rate that you guys are going at, and being that, when are you going to Zambia? When are we holding it?
Whenever you host this, we're happy to come.
When are you having it in Zambia? So
unfortunately, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I'll just check with some few things. Fortunately, we're working on a few, conversations which will go across the world. You can start one in Canada. So they are divided into 4.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the first conversation we wanted to have, it's going to be African Achievers Awards conversation on policy and governance. We will bring people like policy and governance. For instance, at Edmonton, there's some Africans that are part of the system there. Discuss about how it's going to be impactful to the immigrants from Africa. We also have another session called the African Achievers Conversation, which has to do with entertainment and social impact. So people in that space as well will be having a conversation. This is just to help the community as well. People who have made it and see how we can place every other person. We also have the African Achievers Conversation in engineering, technology, and artificial intelligence. So we get people in that space as well and have the conversation and also mentor other Africans, So these are the new programs we're going to be introducing at the last quarter of the year.
That's amazing. How can someone get involved if they are interested in getting involved in these programs?
Yeah, so online we're going to drop out the mails, so because it's going to be like a TEDx kind of stuff where people get more like a franchise. We give them the standards because this is going to be beneficial to entire Africa. They're going to be independent to run it themselves. So these conversations can be instrumental to our development. So just as simple, there's going to be a form very soon on the website, and also recommendations. We have those kind of recommendations. We do the approval and they're good to go.
Got it. No, this is really, really good. You have achieved a lot already at a young age, and truly want to just give you your flowers. Thank you for your, you're representing us, and this is an amazing achievement that you are doing for all of us. There's so many people that are not celebrated enough. So for you to come up with the Achievers Awards, I don't think it's even just the award itself. It's just, we see you type of thing. That you're letting people know. It's like we appreciate we appreciate you for what you are doing, and we do see you. And it's important. Everybody, from time to time, they need that validation that they're being seen. Our heads are down, but from time to time, if you bring your head up when you're doing things, as much as people say, no, I don't want to be appreciated. People do want to be appreciated. So you're creating that space for them. So yeah, thank you for that. And you deserve the flowers.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you feel fulfilled for all the work that you are doing?
I don't know what to say. I don't have an answer to that.
Listen, it's good because you're still on the grind, and I guess.
Yeah. So that's why. So real fulfillment comes from pleasing God, and impacting. So we're still climbing. So let's say feel right now. Well, maybe I'll give an answer next time we have a conversation.
Maybe you're being humble. You should, because you're fulfilling it. It should feel for fulfillment at least somehow.
So the words are from you, so I'll take the words from you, isn't it?
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I thank you for, I know you are super busy. I thank you for joining me,
Yes.
for having this quick conversation with me. I really wanted just to for us to know a little bit about you and what the African Achievers Awards are and how people can, truly be involved. Thank you for everything that you are doing for us. I appreciate you and thank you for joining me. It's been an honor.
Thank you, Nancy.
That's it for this episode. Thank you again for lending us your ears. It's truly an honor to serve each and every dreamer. You can continue to support us by liking, sharing, and following us on our social media pages. The links are all in the show notes. We have so many exciting projects and ventures in store for you. Until next time, keep dreaming.
Born and raised in the motherland, chasing a better life. Story of an immigrant.
Concrete pastures.
Concrete pastures.
Concrete pastures.